4,090 pounds. This is a Freedom Express 192 by Coachmen here at HaylettRV of Coldwater, Michigan. If you would like to see if we have this in stock and available, there is a link down in the video description for you YouTube type folks that says check for price and availability. You can see if we have it in stock, how we have it equipped, and what we are asking in one spot. And by the way, our pricing does not have hidden charges like your major chain stores. We don't charge extra for like prep fees, destination fees, freight charges, etc. You know, propane, battery, water, electrical, surge protectors, cleaning it, showing you how it works. More than that, all that stuff is included in our price tag. The only things not really included are like state mandatory fees like sales tax. So if you're looking for a better, easier, more transparent place to do business with, congratulations, you found it. The Freedom Express series is one that I'm sweet on personally because it's the only big person friendly ultralight on the market. They've made their RV specifically cater to people 6 foot and taller in a lightweight market where everyone else is worried about building it smaller. And that's something that really appeals to me. Being a person who, I mean, I've 10s, 20,000 some odd trailers I've seen in my career. I mean, you know, I get numb to this stuff. And every single time I look at the Freedom Expresses and I say, these guys are full of little things designed for the end user, for the owner, not necessarily for the salesman. There's a lot of RVs out there that are designed to be marketable. This is designed to be campable, which isn't a word, but I think you know what I mean. For instance, you saw that big, really big, wide front storage compartment. Freedom Express is the reason a lot of other lightweights have these big front storage compartments. Freedom Express is one of 2 specific series of ultralights on the market that is just incredibly copycatted out there. There are 3 to 4 different series of trailers on the market that are just literally, they try to clone this thing. But you know, when it's just like when you take a piece of paper and you run it through a copy machine. You get a functional copy, but it's a little grainy and it's missing the fine details, and that's the best way I can describe all the copycats. You know, you can get the real deal, the real McCoy, or you can get a knockoff. And the knockoff will be okay, but for the same money, I'd rather get the real deal every single time. So what am I talking about? What do I mean? Well, let's start right up front here. You've got this seamlessly integrated 3/4 nose cap up front. A lot of folks actually, when they transitioned over to this, they used to have a white skin fiberglass front while they didn't even realize they went to this 3/4 cap because it looks perfect. I mean, it looks exactly like it's always supposed to. And I thought, okay, well, they probably went thin on this to keep the weight down. I started pushing on it, and I'll be darned if the thing just isn't rock solid. And they still put some cool little LED accents in here, and at night it makes the front really light up and look pretty cool. You still have a diamond plate down here so that you are getting some stone guard protection. I've got a wicked backlight from the morning sun not helping me currently. Even the way that they organize the stuff on their tongue is different at Freedom Express, and I really like it. They were one of the very first that put the propane tanks in front of the battery tray. Why does that matter? Well, you don't change your propane setup, but what it does is it gives you the ability to have an extra battery. Now, they also tongue mount their spare tire, if you notice. And what that does is it helps with load equalization. Well, here, let me back up this way. Weight on the front of the trailer, pushing the nose down, makes the trailer less likely to wiggle. So this helps keep the trailer from wiggling a little bit. And every ounce counts, my friends. Every ounce counts. Power awning with full-length LED lighting, push button easy power tongue jack. Now the power tongue jack is an upgrade. There's a couple little upgrades on here that are not standard. That's why I leave you a link in the video description. You can review the HaylettRV website and you can see what we have in stock and how it's equipped. As a matter of happenstance, you don't have to pay extra for this. That's what I like, is the stuff that's like optional in a lot of other brands is here every day in a Freedom Express at HaylettRV. Things like the enclosed underbelly with forced air heating. Things like the seal gripping leak preventing slide walls. When the camera adjusts, you see that cottage cheesy skin? Well, that is really rough textured, and it pulls these slide seals really taut. And if you look really close, these slide seals have a T edge on them, so that it has that extra surface just to grip that slide wall, so that it pulls the slide seal all the way in or out. If you pull this back, you can actually see another channel inside to help protect from water penetration. Radial tires, aluminum wheels, not uncommon, although I do like to point them out because not everything is riding on aluminum wheels, and those do look amazing. I like that all of our hookups are in the back corner. This is the correct location, in my opinion, as a person who goes camping for hookups. The reason being, when you're at a campsite, usually this corner back here is where all the campsite hookups are. Well, now you don't need to start dangling out extra extension cords for your sewer and your water lines and running them up 20 feet to the front of the trailer because that's where some engineer decided was the best place to put hookups. This makes more sense. And there's actually been specific floor plans that they build at Freedom Express. I know the people down there very well. I've helped add some creative input to a few floor plans, and I asked them a couple times, guys, why don't you have some big storage under a bunk back here or something like I see from Brand X? They're like, because then we have to move our hookups 18 feet away from the back of the trailer, and we don't want to do that. And it's little things like that. When they say that, I go, these guys are really focused on the final product and how it functions on a campsite. Their first concern is not just, well, is it going to last long enough for the warranty? Their first concern is, if someone's camping with this 8 years from now, are they still going to be happy with it? And that amazes me, because that is not how this industry typically works. But that's the Freedom Express team, and I really, really like that. At some point, everyone always wants to know, well, I mean, how does this rate on the quality scale? Well, it was a DSI Quality Award winner last year. So there were only 16 brand names in the entire business that earned that accolade. And the two Ultralites from Coachmen, the Freedom Express and the Apex, both of which we carry here at HaylettRV, they were both DSI Quality Award winners. They're both managed by the same team. You've got a team here that understands how to make a good, functional, quality product. And that's something you should really pay attention to. So notice that the entry door is protected by the awning. So if you come in and out, you want to go to this little outdoor grilling station that we've added right here. That's another option that's present on this one. You don't have to go, you know, get rained on, basically. I talk all the time about how these Freedom Expresses have sealed edge waterproof tables. And I talk all the time about how you can take it outside, but I never actually demonstrate that. So I thought, you know what? Today I'm going to break the mold. I'm going to flip this thing outdoors a picnic table. Although the reason I probably don't do it most of the time is because Freedom Express gives you a picnic table. That you see some other brands are starting to do this. Again, Freedom Express is the original. They're the trendsetter. They're the ones that made this standardized picnic table station here a thing. You know, it's a resin top molded picnic table. You can leave it outside in the rain. It ain't gonna hurt it a bit. And if you notice, it stores at the top of your storage compartment so that you don't lose any actual cargo space, because you tend to stack cargo side by side, not on top of each other. A lot of campers have a little solar prep trickle charge port. That is just for 12-volt trickle charging for lights and fans. That doesn't run your air in your fridge. If you need more info on that, actually search our YouTube channel for solar prep as a keyword, and that will give you some more info, or God forbid, call us and speak to a living, breathing human being. And I like what they do here. This doesn't have like an outside gas connect port like most things. This feeds off those little portable propane bottles. What I like about that is if you want to go to Tim, the neighbor's campsite, and you want to maybe, you know, have a little backyard barbecue with him, you can take this with you. You can go take this and have a good time. Also, little things. Baggage door, laminated, so that you do have a thermal break between inside and outside, because right under or above this pass-through storage is your bed. If this door wasn't insulated, you'd lose all your hot and cold air. And magnet door latches. Convenience, smart, detail things like that. Every little thing matters. Everything matters, you know. Bigger entry handle, standard, so that, you know, if you've got a bad knee or hitching your giddy up or something like that, it is just easy come and easy go. Now, let's step inside here. And one of my favorite, probably my very favorite feature, and one of the things that I think is literally kind of the defining quality, if I had to say what is like the single most defining quality of a Freedom Express RV, is that they have an extra tall interior height. They've got a 3-inch taller, 6'9" interior height. Industry standard is 6'6". Now, some brands, they will give you the illusion of additional headroom, additional functional headroom rather, with a 6-inch vaulted ceiling on a 6.5-foot tall ceiling. So they say, oh, it's almost 7 foot, or, you know, at the apex, and that's cool. But the walls aren't taller. Do you see how this slide out goes like all the way up to the ceiling, basically? Well, if the ceiling was lower, the slide would have to be lower. If the walls were lower, the cabinets would have to be shorter. If the walls were lower, the shower would have to be lower. This model does all of that, and it gives people like me, who are extra tall, above 6 foot basically, headroom where you need it in the shower. It gives you extra storage space for big cereal boxes and stuff in the cabinets. That 3 inches of interior height, guys, is a world of difference. Now, this little thing at just a titch over 4,000 pounds, under 4,100 pounds, is a perfect, absolute perfect stunner of a couple's camper. So it starts right over here. We've got our little sofa in the slide out. Now, notice too, the slide out in this model is above the floor. What that means to you, if you don't understand what that means, it means that there's no carpet required on the floor. This is a totally carpetless, easy cleaning floor plan. You don't have to waste storage space on a vacuum when just a quick broom and then Swiffer it when you get home can do. You know, this is so super easy to clean. We've also got a very aggressive LED light package in here. You can see how much of a difference that makes. Small campers like this tend to be very budget focused, and you might get 2 or 3 interior cabin lights. They've got 5 or 6 going on in here, plus the overhead spotlights in various areas. They've just got more of it going on. Now, your sofa can jackknife down into a little grandkid sleeper. You're not going to be sleeping your 6 foot, nephew or something on here. This is a couple's camper first with a little bonus sleeper. Now, that table that you saw outside there, that stores under the bed during like your daytime or when you're not using it, and you can pull it over here as a lunch table, card table, coffee table. You know, you can do things with it. If you bring a couple small folding chairs or stools, you could easily have 4 people here playing cards. You could still entertain some friends for a night in here. On a rainy night, you could invite some people over. You could put out a couple snacks on your countertop space, because that is another thing this one has, is good countertop prep and serving space for a small camper. That is a hard thing to come by. Now, not only is this extra tall, but it's got an extra long bed. Instead of the shorter 74-inch camper queen, this has a full 80-inch true queen bed. It makes a difference for, again, someone who's 6 foot or taller. Your feet won't hang off this bed. Now, if you're 6'9", your feet are going to hang off every bed, and you're used to that, so I'm sorry. Don't blame me, blame Mother Nature. Both sides of the bed have power outlets against the bed stands, and you see that you've got those platforms there for large platforms too. So real-sized CPAP machines can fit on there. You don't need the toothpick traveler's ones. You can still use your big one. You don't have to go get a special one from the doctor. Large side closets for hanging storage, and they have a full overhead cabinet, not just a little shelf. They've got these little dual element reading lights. A lot of people still aren't familiar with these. Tap it once, you get a blue LED reading light. Tap it again, if you hold it rather, you get a bright white reading light, you know, so you or a spotlight, visual light, whatever you need there. TV swings out. So when I'm sitting here, and it swings out just enough. They didn't go overkill on this. It swings out just enough so that I can sit here, and I don't have to crank my neck. I'm staring directly at the TV. I'm on Boardwalk in Park Place. And here we've got AM, FM, CD, DVD, Bluetooth. All of your needs are all met there. Remember that all of your countertops, whether it's inside or outside or a bathroom or whatever, they're all sealed edge and waterproof. That's, again, one of my favorite part about these Freedom Expresses here at HaylettRV. I'm trying to point out the little differences that the Freedom Express does that other brands don't. Like, if I back up, if you look at this kitchen, at a glance, you're like, I've seen this kitchen before. But if you look closer, no, you haven't. So it starts again with that waterproof countertop. Now we go to this amazing hardwood food-grade cutting board. So it's got slots in it, you see there, so that it doesn't fall off the stovetop in transit. It rode from the factory here. This is how you can leave it. I don't know of anyone else in the industry doing this. This is, as far as I know, a Freedom Express exclusive. It's gorgeous. Other brands probably aren't doing it because it's expensive. We had someone buy a not a Freedom Express, but say, can you get me one of these from Coachmen? I was shocked at how much it was. That is a real quality kitchen thing there, basically. But again, it's portable. You can take this, set it on your picnic table outside. You can keep like your napkins and your salt shakers and everything, your ketchup all right there. You know, your barbecue sauce has a spot. It's a serving tray, basically. When we move over here, you're like, okay, so it's a sink. Well, first of all, they included a cover so that you can use it as prep space. And secondly, if you take the cover off, you'll notice that this is an American stone cast sink. Do the wedding ring test. Listen. That's not plastic. This is actually like cast in stone. That's where the name comes from, stone cast. When I say it's heat resistant, like, because I tell people all the time, you can boil hot water and pour it in that sink and you won't damage it. They're like, yeah, but how hot can the water get? How about 500 degrees? It can get way hotter than the water heater in this camper can probably provide. You can't screw this sink up, you know? It can't rust even, you know? You don't have that problem. Now, they've done an amazing job here in this kitchen, giving you very good storage capacity. Like your drawers, you notice they're plywood constructed on full glides. They're not particle board. Particle board drawers with a sticker wrap are not the end of the world. This is just better. There's good and there's better. And they put better in a Freedom Express. Extra storage below the oven that a lot of brands don't give you. You know, now, not a lot because you have your outside stovetop back there. So they put a false wall panel there. But they opened up literally every single thing that they could. They didn't waste anything. You know, you can find little stuff to put in here. But if it's partitioned off so you can't use it at all, you can find exactly 0 things to put in there. Little is better than nothing. So they opened up everything as much as they possibly could. Now back behind here you might have something like a water pump. So again, they put a little partition so you don't damage it. But notice, they're putting these little partitions in there so that cargo shift can't occur and damage things in your trailer. They have proactively put simple measures in place to prevent you from coming back to our service center for work. I love that. I love that. I prefer campers to stay in your driveway rather than come back to mine every single day of the week. That's the reason I like Freedom Expresses, because they get that done because of little details like this. The little details make the biggest differences, guys. And this is a Coachmen exclusive. I call it the utensil drawer. Pretty creative, huh? Not really. Anyway, so most brands, if you get any storage under a sink, you get a little flip out sponge drawer that is absolutely worthless. It is absolutely worthless. This gives you a pre-partitioned space for forks, spoons, knives, matches, extra accessories. And again, if we're going outside for picnic time, this can come with us. You can set it there. You can take all your stuff, including your grill. Remember Tim the neighbor? We can still go over to his place and have a heck of a hootenanny good time, basically. If that's your thing. Hootenannies, that is. Anyway. Alright, so other little details that absolutely enchant me with this floor plan. This is actually my favorite aspect of this floor plan. I love this little wastebasket space right here. Now, you've also got next to it, perfect little spot to kick some shoes off and keep them out of the way. But this is the perfect little wastebasket because you can just use like Walmart or Target bags or whatever, and you can toss those in here. Then when you're done, you take the handles from those bags, you can tie it into a knot. And then you've got the perfect little disposable garbage bag. It's in the perfect location because when you're standing here in the kitchen doing prep space, most of us are right-handed. We're going to be inclined to throw stuff away on the right side. Coachman knows that. Look at the detail on this. Now, when we're outside, you open the door, bang, it's right there. It's so smart. The smart little details. Now, next to the refrigerator, they also put in a pretty killer floor-to-ceiling pantry. They didn't waste any space in here again. They've done an excellent, excellent job with this floor plan. Let me back up a little bit. I want you to kind of get to see the full effect from the other direction here. When the slide is slid in, this floor plan remains 100% accessible and functional. You lose absolutely nothing. You don't even have to open the slide to spend a whole weekend camping and have a good time. It just can't hurt because it opens up that extra space, especially if you want to throw that sliding or that picnic table in here like I talked about. So that's a unique thing. Again, here at HaylettRV, man, oh man, do we have a lot of different brands. And that is because they each do different things better than the other guys. But again, where I see the Coachmen Freedom Express being the best, because they're all the best in a different way, is for the people who actually are going to go out and camp and really do this. This is one of those, the best campers. You know, little details like, again, I can't stress this enough. For tall people like me, hopefully the skylight shine isn't coming off the bald head. Plenty of headroom in here. I don't have to have my head in the bubble, you know. The waterproof countertops, a sink that an adult can get hands in. Right next to, by the way, the entry door. Entry door, bathroom, bang, easy in, easy out. If you're traveling, you got to use the bathroom real quick because, hey, you know, sometimes as we all get older, you know, sometimes we have different needs, and sometimes we just can't wait to use the bathroom. Sometimes that's one of those things that just has to happen. This is a perfect traveler's camper, couples camper, function camper, killer camper. Give us a call, 800-256-5196. HaylettRV of Coldwater, Michigan. We only do everything at HaylettRV. Hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, etc. The only thing you stand to lose by not calling is thousands of dollars. So, you know, every dealer has good deals. Every dealer has good products. How many dealers went out of their way to educate you like this? That's my message. There's still a service element involved in there. We've gone way out of our way to educate you before we've ever met you. Imagine what we'll do once you are a HaylettRV customer. Think about that and then give us a ring. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.